Hey everyone, my name is the Theme Park Evangelist. It's been some time since I have vlogged here at my parents' condo. It just actually worked out today that my next topic on the history of the Theme Park Evangelist, which I started back during Memorial Day weekend, just happened to be filmed here. It was just very coincidental. Anyhow, for those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, I started my YouTube channel back in December 2016. Unfortunately, I have been losing some subscribers because my YouTube channel is still at a slow pace right now because the only thing I've really been able to do lately is at home vlogs. But I am excited to say in the next 10 minutes that I have a lot of upcoming vlogs. So start spreading the word and let people know that my YouTube channel is going to improve again soon. Just bear with me, give me some time. We'll get this YouTube channel back on track, I promise. I know it seems discouraging and frustrating because it seems like my YouTube channel is the most exciting when I'm doing those YouTube shorts and when I'm vlogging out of the house and at like Kings Island and whatnot. Unfortunately, I went through a transition. Hold on, I gotta. Never mind. That was weird. Unfortunately, I went through a transition there where I was in the process of moving to a new state, and I was also working a lot at the airport back when I was working there, and I was also in the process of changing jobs. And the last time I legitimately was at Kings Island was back during the summer months. And that's why my YouTube channel has taken a pitfall. And this is unfortunately the time of the year when Kings Island is at its slowest, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that the kids have gone back to school, and they're also at this time still training employees and auditioning employees for Halloween Hunt, which starts this Friday evening. So this is that's kind of also what they're doing, and they've also been decorating the park. Kings Island uses this slow time to get things done instead of trying to rush to get it done like Disney does. Kings Island figures, why rush? Why not just take our time and do it right? And that's just how they do things. But once they do reopen again, my YouTube channel will be like boom, 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 and it's just before you know it, it slows down again. It's just like what the heck. I can promise you guys from September all the way through early January, my YouTube channel is going to be like boom, boom, boom. It's going to be like one vlog after the next. I'm going to be gaining subscribers out the wazoo, and then all of a sudden I'm going to hit another slow season, and then I'm going to start losing subscribers like there ain't no tomorrow, because people only want to watch my YouTube channel when it's actually interesting and not just to see me talking to a camera, because then that's when I get people that cuss me and call me boring, and I'm like, well, that's fine. You don't have to stay subscribed, and you didn't even have to click on the vlog. You really didn't have to. I'm just saying. Nobody is required to watch my YouTube channel. Nobody is required to be subscribed to my channel. I appreciate people who are subscribed to my channel. I appreciate people who click and actually watch. But you don't even have to stay till the end. You don't. That is a personal choice only. So anyway, and I always tell people these first 10 minutes every Monday are not mandatory. If you want to watch just to find out what all is going on, that's fine. If you want to even skip that first 10 minutes, you're more than welcome to. I don't provide that link. That needs to. People who watch my YouTube channel every single week should know by now. Every Monday, at some point when I upload this video, I always spend the first 10 minutes or so just talking about upcoming announcements. And just go ahead and fast forward that first 10 minutes and go ahead and go to the actual vlog. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into those announcements. So this Saturday, September 21st, I am finally going to Kings Island's or St. Kings Island for Halloween Haunt. Now, the reason why I'm choosing to go on Saturday is because of the fact that even though I'm off on Friday and Saturday, I figured that I would just go ahead and go on Saturday. And a lot of it just has to do with the fact that I still have to work on Saturday, and instead of trying to be out till 1 o'clock in the morning and only try to get about 7 hours of sleep, 7.5 hours of sleep or so, and then go get up and get ready for work and be worn out for the rest of the day, even though it's going to be super slow on Saturday, I figured, well, why not just go ahead and go on Saturday and um, leave work when it's time for me to leave work, even if I get done early for whatever reason, and then go off to Kings Island and um, get back to my place about 1 o'clock in the morning. And the nice thing about Sundays are normally I go to church on Sunday mornings, and I usually have all the time in the world to like sleep and go to church, have my coffee, and I don't mind being tired on Sundays because Sundays are normally my day to rest. And also, Sundays are usually my day to do my fun vlogs, but this coming Sunday, I'm actually going to a bridal show. So I won't be doing my normal fun vlog on Sunday. That's why I'm moving it to Saturday night instead. So be watching my YouTube channel Sunday morning for this first week's Kings Island Halloween Hot Vlog. I more than likely will be doing another Halloween Hot Vlog the weekend of Columbus Day because of the fact that I'm probably going to be cat sitting for my parents. So I figured I would do another one that Saturday night, and then that Sunday I got another thing planned, but we'll get there. So, and then of course I'll go back to Halloween Haunt the final weekend like I always do. But anyhow, the following Sunday, September 29th, is going to be um, my very first Tricks and Treats vlog. So for families with kids, this is the vlog you're going to want to watch. This is Kings Island's kid-friendly Halloween vlog if you want to watch that. And this is the one that Katie and I both go to if you want to see Katie. The following week is going to be the my very first ever Kentucky Wool Festival. I really don't know much about it. I really don't. And everything that is going to be shown to me, or I'm going to be showing that day, is a complete surprise to me. So I'm just as much surprised as you are. The following Sunday after that, like I was mentioning, there is a brand new fall event coming to Cincinnati Zoo for the very first time. It's called the Jack-O-Lantern Glow, and it's about $25 per adult, but that's including parking. And Katie and I are both going. I'm very excited. Just wait until I get some extra money, and then I'm going to go ahead and buy my tickets, or buy our tickets. And I'm going to be showing that on YouTube for the very first time. Otherwise, I really don't know much about it, so I'm just as interested as you guys are. That's as far as I have planned now. I'm thinking about doing the the Perfect North slopes colorful the following Sunday, and then finally wrapping up with the pumpkin country pumpkins in Dry Ridge, Kentucky on the final Sunday, or on the next Sunday, and then doing at least one more Tricks and Treats after that. So got a lot more fall events planned for you guys this year than usual. Alright, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Right at the 10-minute mark, like I promised every single time. So, as you guys see in the title, I finally did come up with today's topic. So, I was on the fence about what to be talking about today. I was tied between checking my Facebook page for the official itinerary or just thinking about talking about how working for answers in Genesis impacted my YouTube channel. Well, I did look, and it turns out my itinerary has a much better topic for today, and that is how vlogging in Canada during COVID impacted my YouTube channel. And to me, that was a much more interesting topic. And this will be actually the final COVID topic of the YouTube channel. So I've been on this COVID series on my History of the Theme Park Evangelist YouTube series. If you have hung on this far, or you're just now starting my vlog for the first time today, or whenever you're watching this, this is a new YouTube series that I started back during Memorial Day weekend, and it's actually literally about the history of my YouTube channel, all the way dating all the way back to when I first started up my YouTube channel back in '09, and then when I officially became the theme park evangelist back in December of 2016. And then it's going all the way to the current present. Right now, we are actually talking about my first time vlogging in Canada during COVID, so December of 2021. So anyway, we are getting to 2024. We're getting there. Get 3 more years left. Not too much longer. And it was an interesting time. It was not easy getting the time off. I had to literally beg and plead with my boss to give me the time off. I can promise you guys, though, if he had known my grandmother wasn't going to be around, I would have had to stay and work. But I'm also glad I did get to go because it was my first time celebrating Christmas with my mom's side of the family, not even lying, in 15 years. And this year is going to be even more special because of the fact this is the first time Katie's going to celebrate Christmas with my mom's side of the family. And I can also reassure you guys, if I had not gotten to celebrate Christmas with my mom's side of the family, then even though I did go back up the next year, I didn't get to see that many people at all. I really don't even remember who I got to see and who I didn't get to see. Um, Honestly, some of these guys I haven't seen in 3 years. And some of them I was fortunate and I did get to see 2 years ago. I just don't remember who I got to see 2 years ago and who I did get and who I saw 3 years ago. It's one of those frustrating issues. Um, it's one of those things. But anyway, um, I was up there 3 years ago, and we started out at my grandmother's house. So she let us stay at her place while she was out of town. That's all I'm gonna say. And we got to house sit for her a little bit. So my parents took her bed. My brother took her day bed, and we brought an air mattress with us, which apparently had a hole in it, and I didn't realize it, but we made it work. And I took the kitchen. I said, "Somebody's got to guard this fridge. Might as well be me." I mean, come on, that was funny. Uh, Originally, we were talking about going to church on Christmas Eve, but of course, because COVID was still going on in Canada, we didn't get to do that. So we were going to watch the Christmas Eve service at um, Hebron Baptist Church on Christmas Eve, and that didn't end up happening because they forgot to turn on the camera. So we ended up watching Encanto for the very first time. I know, Encanto of all movies. And I remember when we first arrived in Canada, we had to go to one of my favorite restaurants of all time called Swiss Chalet. They are really well known for their rotisserie chicken. If you know me well, you'll know I love my Swiss Chalet, and Katie's kind of already heard about that. And I already told her we're definitely going. And, I'm coming into this restaurant, and I had warned my parents ahead of time that we have to have our IDs on us and go in order to go out to eat. And my parents are like, "Yeah, right." And they literally had signs up that said they have to see your ID. And oh yeah, that's right. They had to see proof of vaccination. That was a horrible time to be in Canada. Not even joking. They had to see your ID. They had to see proof of vaccination, and you had to have a mask on. And then they literally had signs everywhere that said "Follow the flock." I almost vomited. I mean, what are we, sheep? It's like, or why are we being treated like sheep? It was disgusting. And there was barely anybody in the restaurant. So unless you were doing carry out, you had to be vaccinated in order to go into the restaurant. And I intentionally let this, I don't even want to say the word, but let this stuff get injected into my body just to go see my family. And I got so much trash from family, including my future father in law, for my decision, just because I want to see my family that badly. I'm just glad that it was not the mark of the beast, because I wouldn't have done it. And I did this topic back in the day saying that, is the COVID vaccine the mark of the beast? Because I really seemed to think so at the time, but I did some research on my during my Bible study, my personal Bible study, and it turns out it was not. And it had not yet been revealed to us yet. Because you can still pay for stuff and sell stuff without the COVID vaccine. And the mark of the beast basically says that you have to have that mark in order to pay and sell, or buy or sell, is really what the Bible says in the book of Revelation. So at least it has not come into fruition yet, but it's still coming. And I'm in this restaurant, and I think there was maybe 50 people in the restaurant altogether. The meal was still good, don't get me wrong, like the food was still served the same, but there was just nobody in there. And going through the border was a mess. You had to have proof of vaccine in order to go through. You had to have your passport. It was just awful. And my brother took the longest to get his vaccine just because of where he got it from. I got mine from my doctor's office, and they got it to me like almost immediately. It was insane. And I had to make sure that I got it within 72 hours of my trip. So I literally went the day before. Just trying to find the time was almost impossible. I was like, ugh. It was basically a travel shot to say that you have no COVID, or you don't have COVID, and if you were obviously tested positive for COVID, you can't go. And it's still crazy that people are still being tested positive for COVID, and it's 2024 now. I can't believe it's even still a thing. 4 years later, I'm just like, really? Even 3 years later, it's still a thing. Like, how is it still going around? We were on our way to Wyville, Ontario, which is roughly where my aunt and uncle live, without giving away where they specifically live. We were on our way to Bartlett Fam Jam 2021, and as we were going through Toronto, almost every mile it was trying to force people to get the vaccine if they haven't got it yet. We had met up with some of my dad's friends. I'm not going to mention who they are. We had stopped one day to see them in Milton area, which I'm not going to say where that is. I'm just going to say it's in the Toronto vicinity, and that's a big city. And we had lunch with them at this really neat cafe, and they already had gotten their third shot, and they're already talking about getting their fourth shot. I think they might have already gotten their fourth shot. I mean, Canada was even more pro-vaccine than anyway. It was so dark in Canada. I'm talking spiritually, not like dark as in like there was no electricity or natural light. That I personally felt like God had turned his back on Canada. This was at the time. I've never seen Canada that dark before. Like spiritually dark, spiritually dead. I hated it. And I finally got to my mom's side of the family's house, and like my aunt and uncle's house, that is. And that was the first time I had really started enjoying being there. And that was the first time I really didn't have to stop and think about COVID or anything. We were actually doing hugs and all that. But, at the same time, um, it was, even though we were in a place where we weren't really thinking about COVID, there was still that going on. And I didn't mention this yet, but apparently the Canadian government wanted to know where we were going to be um, quarantining during our stay. So, according to the Canadian government, you were supposed to quarantine in a specific place for like up to a week before you went anywhere else. And I was like, what? And they required an address. So it's just like, just use, your grandmother's. And I was like, okay. And it's like, why should we come in just to quarantine for a week? That's stupid. Like, I've never heard of that before. Like, ever in my life. So, I should mention that was the first time I had ever actually celebrated Christmas with my mom's side of the family on Christmas Day in 15 years. That was cool. I don't remember if we made it to church because I don't even think churches were even meeting at the time. But I do remember us having like board game day. That was kind of neat. I just remember we weren't doing much, and it was also a really weird time because, like these days, if you enter in Canada one way, you can exit out another way, and the Canadian government doesn't care anymore. But back then, you had to enter in one way and you had to exit out the other way. You had to let the Canadian government know via this app that doesn't exist anymore, apparently, that you're going to come in one way this date and you're going to exit out another way via this date. And now they're just like, we don't care. We're not going to monitor everything you do anymore. Because as far as they're concerned, COVID is over. Like, in that sense. So, it was a really difficult time. Some of my mom's side of the family, they chose not to get the COVID vaccine. And I'm not going to say who they were, and I don't blame them at all. And, they couldn't do almost anything during that time. But you know what? I'm proud of them. They stood their ground, and they literally had to suffer. But you know what now? Things are over. And I mean, yes, I did have to go into a grocery store with the mask on, but at least I was able to go shopping and I didn't have to worry about showing proof of vaccine. I never went to a movie, but if I did, I would have to show proof of vaccine. The only time I really had to was when we went out to eat. But otherwise, nobody really said anything. Fast food, they didn't ask at all. I was really shocked. I went back the next year, honestly, night and day difference. I can promise you that now. And that's another story for another time. But in the meantime, always remember, you can do all things through Christ strengthens you. I'll see you guys on Wednesday in the next vlog. And that vlog will actually be another surprise vlog for those of you who do not know. Have a great day. Peace out.